There is a secret project between the Bank of Japan, the ECB, Ripple, and XRP. Lord Belgrave is back to expose this. We're going to go through it. Let's go ahead and start here. Lord Belgrave claims to be an ex-City London banker who has inside and direct knowledge around Ripple, XRP, and institutional adoption and CBDCs. So 2019, let's set the stage here. BIS and ECB released their joint report with the Bank of Japan, Project Stella, the public story testing distributed ledger technology for cross-border settlement. The private reality, Stella's language reads like it was lifted straight from Ripple's playbook. And so you have the European Central Bank, Bank of International Settlements, Bank of Japan, and of course, the company we all know and love, Ripple. The official report stated DLT arrangements can support atomic settlement, deterministic finality, and cross-border payments. That phrasing, atomic settlement, deterministic finality, is not generic blockchain jargon. It's the XRPL's native vocabulary. At the time, most of the market brushed it off, but those of us in banking knew better. Ripple had been presenting the same architecture at closed-door workshops since 2016. Now the ECB and the BIS were putting their language into their own reports. Behind the scenes, NDAs were circulating among European banks. One clause I reviewed in 2019 read, liquidity corridors shall be tested against distributed settlement infrastructures under regulator sandbox conditions. This isn't Ethereum. This isn't Bitcoin. This is the XRP ledger architecture disguised in regulatory tone. The key insights from Project Stella Phase 2, 2019, synchronization of payments across ledgers equals RippleNet corridors. Delivery versus payment, also known as DVP, with tokenized assets equals Ripple prototypes. Identity-bound nodes to prevent double spending equals XRP ledger consensus design. This wasn't academic curiosity. ECB or BOJ, Bank of Japan, weren't dabbling in blockchain. They were stress testing the very principles Ripple had been advancing without naming Ripple. Why? Because regulators never reveal which vendor they're modeling, but the fingerprints are there. While crypto Twitter fought over ICOs, the BIS and ECB were quietly enabling Ripple's vocabulary into central bank experiments. The NDAs made it very clear. Prototype agnostic liquidity corridors shall be aligned with ISO 20022 and real-time gross settlement protocols. The XRP ledger is bankers' code. So what is the bigger picture? Project Stellar was sold as a research report. In reality, it was the blueprint for cross-border rails Ripple had already been piloting. In 2019, the ECB, the BIS, and the Bank of Japan were openly speaking Ripple's language without attribution. History won't remember Stella as a footnote. It will be remembered as the moment Ripple's architecture entered the vocabulary of central banks. Deterministic finality, atomic settlement, liquidity corridors, those aren't buzzwords. Those are the foundation of the XRP ledger. I share more redacted NDA excerpts soon. The truth is simpler. And by 2019, the ECB and the BIS weren't just studying DLT. They were rehearsing Ripple's technology. Stay tuned. Finally, a way you can support the channel. For $25 a month, you're going to get access to Crypto Sensei's dojo. Yes, we built a dojo where you can learn about XRP, all of the latest news. You can get access to content ad-free and early. I'm also going to give live reactions to XRP news. If you want to stay in the driver's seat for all the action happening in the market over the next few months, come join the dojo, support me and my team, as well as get the latest and greatest best XRP information. I'll see you in the dojo. And Lord Belgrave also said this about David Schwartz retiring here or leaving the CTO role. He said, when one hand sets down the pen, another may pick up the key. The ledger of ledgers still waits for the first whisper since 2019. Some retirements are merely repositionings. Watch the silence of Satoshi's wallet. So Lord Belgrave believes David Schwartz is Satoshi and that the wallet will start to activate here now that he is stepping down from Ripple. I don't know if the two things are connected. In banking and finance, there are no coincidences. Governments and media craft the narrative. only after the plan has been executed with precision. When they package it to divide, distract, and steer you through emotion and psychology. Lord Belgrave. I also wanted to see if there was any other connections here. Of course, it brought up Project Stella, the most significant formal link. Project Stella, a research partnership launched in 2016 by the ECB, Bank of Japan. And so this is a real project that was launched. So he's not, he's not giving us wrong information here. It does talk about other connections, RippleNet and SBI Asia. There's a lot of connections and collaborations between SBI. They own about $10 billion worth of XRP, which is about 3% of the supply, and they are an early investor into Ripple. There is speculation that in this year, in 2025, 80% of Japanese banks are projected to integrate XRP for global payments. We'll have to see if that plays out. ECB collaboration with Ripple and other partners. Ripple has been actively engaged with the European regulators regarding central bank digital currency interoperability, positioning the XRP ledger as a bridge for cross-border digital currencies. ECB trials have included Ripple's technology for bond settlement and delivery versus payment in a controlled permission ledger environment, showing technical validation even if not involving public XRP liquidity pools. Interesting. All right, President Trump, Ripple's ready. Let's play it.
Many Americans are unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology. Who would have thought we would have been saying that?
Okay, if in fact the US is upgrading their financial system with blockchain technology, do you think that's built on Bitcoin? Do you think it's built on Ethereum? Because remember, Ethereum is based out of what, Switzerland or Sweden? I think it's Switzerland. You would want to pick an American infrastructure company, right? You're not going to pick a company, let's see here, Switzerland. Zug, Switzerland is where Ethereum is based out of. So everyone says the future financial system is Ethereum. I think part of the tokenization future is on Ethereum. But we're talking about global payments. There's only one bridge asset that can really speak to the US's problem about moving value into all of these different currencies. You know what it is. All right, here is the CEO of Coinbase updating financial systems. Brian Armstrong, let's play it.
These new types of investments and asset classes, capital formation, credit, like all these things can get reinvented, made more efficient in the crypto world. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do. We're trying to create more economic freedom in the world and update the financial system.
Everybody's talking about updating the financial system. You start to wonder, what role is Ripple going to play? Remember, there was a strategic meeting at Downing Street just last few weeks where it was the United States, the UK, Scott Bessent, the Treasurer of the United States was there, Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, the UK was there, Ripple was there, Coinbase was there, right? Citi, Barclays, Circle, those are the companies. That is the future infrastructure. Those are the serious players at the table. They didn't invite Michael Saylor. They didn't invite Jack Mallers. They didn't invite anybody from Ethereum. Why not? Because Ethereum has nothing to do with what is happening between these governments. Nothing. All right. So there's also this post here. Digital Perspectives did say, on the heels of the market infrastructure bill passing and being signed into law, Ripple is bringing the kind of products and services to market with the largest financial institutions will provide and participate in the new digital on-chain economy. To give you some additional context here, the image shows a tweet from Ripple with the rollout of institutional grade blockchain tools immediately following the passing of major market infrastructure. So Ripple has a lot of things already ready to go once regulation is signed into law by President Trump. It highlighted features include privacy first upgrades such as zero knowledge proofs, confidential multi-purpose tokens, and programmable compliance to meet the strict needs for large financial institutions for asset tokenizations and privacy compliance, critical requirements as the industry moves towards a regulated on-chain economy. In 2025, the U.S. market infrastructure bill was signed into law, creating a more explicit legal foundation for institutional participation in blockchain-based digital asset markets. Ripple finalizes long-standing legal issues with the SEC. Yes. And we have all this in for other information. I did want to play this clip. I played it in another video, but oh my God. This is speaking to where we are heading. This is Raoul Pal speaking about streaming payments And we know that Ripple and XRP are at the heart of all of this.
What is an agent? An agent is AI, which is compute plus energy.
Right.
They need to be paid because they cost money. It's small amounts of money, but we're going to ask them to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And agents will ask other agents to do things, or agents to robots. So Damien's agent needs his house cleaned today. So it contacts the robot gets in the robo-taxi, comes to your house, does the cleaning, so spends some time using energy and compute, and leaves.
Yes.
Now, what are you going to do? Give it your credit card? Leave it cash and a tip? No, it just happens instantaneously via crypto rails. So agents will pay agents. So this is the future of money.
And this
guy can't even believe it. Look at this guy's face. Look, hold on.
Instantaneously via crypto rails. So agents will pay agents. So this is the future of money.
And this isn't like, oh, you know, one day maybe. This isn't Star Trek.
Oh no, this is already starting to happen.
Yeah.
It's already starting to happen. And within 5 years, it'll be commonplace.
Yeah.
So again, if you think about it, you need to permission your agent or your robot to do something which will employ others to do the task, of which they need to be paid micropayments.
Yes.
You're not going to, they're going to send you an invoice? That's how the world works now. It's so dumb, right? So what you do is, is you permission your agent to do certain things on your behalf, and it takes that proof and goes out and does it.
Listen, guys, if you get any value from my content, please remember to hit like, leave a comment down below. We do check every single comment. We try to respond to as many as we can. Listen, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead. Streaming payments is the future, and Ripple and XRP are at the heart of that. If you're wanting more information about that, let me know down below. What do you guys think about all of this? Where's XRP headed? I'll see you in the next one.